Yeah.
Well, good. Welcome once again. It's wonderful to have you all here. We have a jam-packed agenda of presentations, of networking and joint planning for this organization that has been sort of moving along for the last 4 years. We got a little tied up with COVID, but we had a lot of webinars and meetings online to keep us all connected up and down the Ohio from Portsmouth. In fact, Ironton's in the house further upstream, right? All the way down to West Point. Let's give it up for those guys. So, we have a very unique network of folks who represent communities, businesses, organizations, agencies from all the way upriver to all the way downriver, 275 miles, all collaborating around the promotion and celebration of the Ohio River, our region's most important and valuable natural asset that can be and is and can be even more so a driver for economic development, quality of life. We here in the Midwest are going to become a place that people want to move to because we don't have forest fires, we don't have droughts, we don't have a water crisis, and we don't have hurricanes too often. All right. So we're a place where you can also afford to buy a house, connect to a community with quality of life that's very high, where you can have a job that you really like, whether it's remote or in person, but also do what you love after work and on the weekends. Whether you're a paddler or you like to fish, you like to camp, hike, cycle. That's one of the great assets that we have in this region is all the recreational opportunities that each of you in your communities have and are in a great position to promote. And that's partly what we're trying to do as an organization is create an entity that if we market it well, people will come. And people will decide to retire here, like old guys like me and David Wicks. Where is David Wicks in the house? He's outside. But Dr. David Wicks in the back, of course, he's always in the back, is the co-founder of this operation with River City Paddle Sports. He's from Louisville. And let's give it up for David Wicks. All right. So some housekeeping deals. We have obviously restrooms out here. We'll have our lunch coming in at 12:30. There is Wi-Fi available and it's ID guest. Okay, so
yes. You have any problems, see Matt?
So Matt's guy solves them all for us. He's great. And it's wonderful visibility. And then you have the agenda in front of you, not very professionally done by our wonderful volunteers. Annette Schumart from Orsanko. Where is Annette in the house? But she's been amazing. There's Annette right there. Thank you. And Jody Robinson in the back here. Where's Jody? With the Blue Good Foundation as volunteers. They put together this program and it nicely printed. So we give it up for those guys. They're wonderful. So this is the first time we have convened in person since we had a meeting in this room in 2019, bringing together the folks who represent the Department of Natural Resources of Indiana, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, and the Coast Guard was here. The first time meeting to collaborate, promote collaboration among the 3 states on the river, on resources that we brought to the table to help provide and improve the assets along it. So it's been a long 2 plus 2.5, 3 years, but we're happy to be back here again at this wonderful facility. We'll have the chancellor greet us momentarily. But before we start, I'd just like to acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Osage, the Miami, the Shawnee, and the Kaskaskia people. And we pay our respects to both their elders and those in leadership in the present. Something that's important for us because we weren't the first folks living and working in this community. And we're building on their traditions in so many ways. So to begin, we'd like to thank our amazing sponsors and start with Friendship State Bank. Where is Amy in the room? Where's Amy Fryman? All right, right up here. And Katie's the marketing director for the Friendship State Bank. And they provide all kinds of goodies, including these lanyards. We really appreciate it. And just so you know, they are the official bank, more or less, of this part of Indiana. So you have branches here in Lawrenceburg and Aurora, also in Rising Sun, in Beebe, and in Madison, correct? So you're the official bank of the Ohio River? More or less, okay. So if you do a bank there, maybe you might want to think about it because these guys aren't committed to the agenda we have today. We're very grateful for you guys doing that. In addition to all the cool swag that you have, they have out on the table, open up your little brown notebook here. Does anybody have something that looks like this sticker? Anybody? Gosh, Amy, I thought they were in there. Anybody? Oh, we got one right here, a winner. So, Susan, you get an extra bag of swag from Katie, and now over the back. We got no over here. You guys get extra stuff. Oh my gosh, this is great. Anybody else? Back there. Good, wonderful. Another one back here. Amy, right back there. Anybody else? Did we get everybody? Okay, let's give it up. Let's give it up for Friendship Day, guys. We're so grateful for you guys. And then we also want to thank Duke Energy. So John is in the room. Stand up, buddy. John, you are the Midwest Director for Stakeholder Engagement. Did I get that right? So John's a former deputy city manager for the city of Cincinnati. He now has a big responsibility. So if you have a problem with Duke, not about your bill, but about public policy, about extending lines to your new facilities, talk to John. So good to have you here, buddy. Thank you so much. All right. And William Selder, where are you with the Archaeological Research Institute? Please stand. I said stand, please. Okay. Very good. So, we have an amazing team based right here in Lawrenceburg, just down the street, and you'll hear more from her and her team as we move along. But we thank you very, very much for your sponsorship at a very generous level. And Chris, where are you with Williams Creek Management in the back, the biggest guy in the room? So Chris, I've known each other for a long time, and Chris, you are representing Williams Creek Management. And we'd love to have you explain later on what you're all about. But we thank you very much. You are our lunch sponsor and breakfast, along with the city of Aurora. And where's the mayor? Way back there. Mark Drury, mayor of Aurora. Thank you for being a member of the organization and for sponsoring our lunch and breakfast. So give it up for the city of Aurora. And then finally, we have additional supporting sponsors who all help to pay the cost of the city of Lawrenceburg. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. The city of Ironton, where's Rick? And others from Ironton? All right. Thank you so much. We're way up there in Lawrence County. We're grateful. The Friends of Ironton, the Lawrence County Travel and Tourism Agency, Paddle Perry, the Oak Heritage Conservancy. I know Jack Sutton is in the room. Thank you very much, Jack. Appreciate it. And the Ohio Environmental Council and Dr. David Wicks have helped to put this all on so we break even. So we love that. Okay, so thank you very much, folks, for all that opening stuff. We also have in-kind sponsors. One Dearborn, let me say, where is Mike Perler? Stand up, Mike. Mike is the executive director of One Dearborn, the economic development agency for the county. And Mike has been helped coordinate everything for this event. And there's no guy who gets things done more than Mike. He even printed the name tags last night at his home. So, thanks, Mike. You're amazing. And of course, we have Ivy Tech, River City Paddle Sports Adventure Crew. I'm on the board of that organization, along with some others in the room. Orsanko, an incredible partner. You'll hear more from Orsanko. And Frost, Todd, and Brown Project Finance, which is what Frances Minone represents and runs. And Frances is our project director, doing an amazing job. She has a lot of other folks she doesn't work for, but she likes working for this project more than anything, correct? Okay. Not that we pay you much, okay, but it's all about spirit. So we do have a planning team that Francis is on, Mike, Mary Allen from New Richmond, our city council member and board member, Jody Robinson, Sean Dunn, the mayor of Portsmouth, will be here momentarily, David Wicks, and Annette from Orsanko pulled this all together. So we'd like to get going with some brief remarks from some really critical people, and we'll start out with the mayor of this beautiful city, where you can see from this facility, Kentucky, we're in Indiana, and that's Ohio. From one room, you can see 3 states. So why would we hold this here?
Is that the Tennessee River?
Why, guys? It's called the Ohio River, man.
I actually have a lot of people ask me that when they come here. So I kind of fib sometimes, but I guess I can't fib in this group. That is the Ohio River. So I verify that.
As opposed to all your guests of Tennessee. All right, great. So, Mayor Milan, we'd love to have you welcome everybody on behalf of this beautiful town. Give it up. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Kelly Milan. I'm the mayor here in Lawrenceburg, and I'm actually finishing up my 2nd term. If I had known there was going to be this many people in the room today, I would have brought some mail-in ballots for next year's election. Just kidding. But how many people in the room, I have to ask this because I get asked to speak at all the conferences next door over at the event center. And I always ask, how many people have never been to Lawrenceburg? Be honest, we won't kick you out. Never been to Lawrenceburg, okay. How many people have been to Lawrenceburg and done some gambling over at the casino?
And won.
And look, did anybody win? Well, if you won, you need to go give it back. And if you lost, we want you to come back. So, but no, welcome to Lawrenceburg. I'll tell you, this is a great group, by the way. I can tell by the parking garage was pretty full this morning. But we think we have a little gem here in Lawrenceburg. An unknown gem. And part of my vision 8 years ago was to make Lawrenceburg into a destination. And if anyone would have been around here 8 years ago, you would have noticed, and I tell this story, those of you that have heard this, just bear with me. But you could have rolled a golf ball from US 50 all the way to the river and probably not hit a car or an individual. We had no restaurants downtown. We had some pop-up shops, retail, but no real sustainability plan. And over the last 8 years, there's been a lot of people here in the city doing a lot of hard work, and we have a lot of great people doing that hard work. But the vision is coming together, and I tell everybody that we've turned a corner, but we're just not quite there yet. One thing that I want to explain is what we have realized here in Lawrenceburg is we underutilize the best natural resource and asset that we have in our backyard, this river. It's underutilized. I know it is by us. Now, we're a little bit different than Aurora or Rising Sun. We have a levee. So it's hard to, some people don't even know the river's down here if you're coming down Walnut Street. But we have the big plans. We just started working with a couple engineering groups that we're going to redefine the whole riverfront here in Lawrenceburg. Part of making Lawrenceburg that destination. We are going to have a huge U-shaped dock system. Instead of one floating restaurant, we're going to have two. We're going to have 15 or 16 boat slips. We're also going to have a larger slip for, say, like a B&B riverboat that wants to come down to dinner cruises. So that'll be available as well. But also, we're going to do some enhancements to the levee and the trail in that area as well. That's already in the works. Our council is 100% into that project, as well as myself. And we think it's going to be a game changer downtown. And we think it's going to be a game changer for the city of Lawrenceburg. And we hope that you'll all come back at some point and be able to enjoy that. We think within the next 2.5 years, that'll be a reality, and you'll be able to see it from here. This is one of the best views on the river, by the way. I always tease Mr. Graver, Chancellor Graver. He has the best view in the state in his office. In fact, he won't trade offices with me, but anyway, no, we're very, very, very blessed here in the city. We thank you for allowing us to help host this important meeting today. We hope that those of you that have never been to Lawrenceburg, that you'll want to maybe bring your families back and come and spend a weekend with us. We have a lot of activities here. Put this plug out there, thanklawrenceburg.com. You can see everything we got going on. But thank you for what each and every one of you do in your respective communities as well. Because up and down this river, there's a lot of opportunity. And I think we all could probably say we underutilize it. And I think that getting a group of collaboration with this group that are some decision makers and the movers and the shakers, I think will really pay dividends in the future. So thank you very much, and enjoy Lawrenceburg.
Thank you, Mayor. And on behalf of the board of the Ohio Riverway, we have a special thank you, an Ohio Riverway hat, which you can wear whether you're on the river or not. So we're very grateful for your support and wear it proudly. We also, by the way, have a hat, and this is for the Dearborn County crowd, for Mayor Drury. There you go, buddy. You'll hear from Mayor Drury later on. And we have a hat for the Mayor of Glendale, correct, who is not here today yet, but we will give this to Guinevere, who will make sure he gets it. Okay, good. Thank you very much. And moving right along, I'd like to introduce the Chancellor of Ivy Tech for this campus and the one in Batesville, Mark Kramer.
Good morning, everyone. And all of that very well, but I was going to say about the Ohio River, I do have fishing poles in my office. So anyone that would like to go at lunchtime out there. I will tell you a little story. We of course, we're doing interviews all the time. And we were interviewing some nurses, and this one nurse kept looking outside through the interview. And finally I asked her, I said, what do you see out in the river? She looked at me, she said, hepatitis C. That's a good joke, but telling me not. I think that's an interesting response. So without just welcome, and Ivy Tech, we're part of the state of Indiana. There's 19 campuses statewide, and we serve about 4,000 students here in Southeastern Indiana, about almost 200,000 statewide, and we have campuses along the river at Lawrenceburg, Madison, Sellersburg, and Evansville. So welcome. Anything you need, we got Matt around here. Lunch, I think you got everything covered, don't you? Except a seat for the mayor of Tubby. Oh, okay. Well, I handed it over. You can introduce them there. So welcome, and let us know if you need anything today, and enjoy your stay today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to Jim Meyer from company just walked in, and we have a VIP seat for you. I really didn't reserve it, but you're next to Charlie Clee from Bellevue. It's good. The two mayors are together. That's excellent. So, folks, next we have, and finally to the speakers, we have Richard Harrison, who's the Executive Director of Orsenco. Where is he? Oh, in the back of the room. Okay, great. Way to go, Richard. Come on down. And we're grateful to have this partnership with Orsenco. We work closely with them because a clean river means a great economy for all of our communities. Take it away.
Thank you, Brewster. What an honor to be here. What a great group just celebrating the recreation opportunities of this wonderful river. I have to ask the group just one quick question. Who all has heard of Orsenco? More than most. That's awesome. So Orsenco is short for the Ohio River Valley Water Sanitation Commission. And I want to just talk a little bit about Orsenco and what we do, what our foundation does, and do this all in about 3 minutes. First, I'm very proud to be a co-host. Great partnership with the Ohio River Way, formerly the Ohio River Recreation Trail. I've been working with those folks for a number of years and just very pleased with that. So I know we're all here to celebrate the river. Orsenco is an interstate compact organization, and we are charged with maintaining and improving the water quality of the Ohio River. So we've been around. This is our 75th year, and we are an interstate compact organization, and it took about 20 years for our governors to negotiate this little document called our compact. And in a lot of ways, we have the same authority as the US EPA when it comes to water quality standards and working with the river to protect its uses. And one of the uses we work with is recreation. And so as I talk here just for a couple of minutes, please keep that in mind. As we talk about a use, it's making sure the river is safe for aquatic life, safe for human health, safe for use as industrial water supply, drinking water supply after reasonable treatment, and really making sure that we can utilize the fish, we can utilize the aquatic life for human health. And so we've been doing this for about 75 years. We have 8 member states of the 15 within the Ohio River Basin, and those include the 6 states that border the Ohio River. So really a great partnership. I'm just going to talk for a couple minutes about what we do and what some of our priorities are. With me today is Annette and Nick, two of our co-workers. They carry dual roles with communication and environmental education. And we also have a foundation for Ohio River education. So I have a table out there, have two documents. One is a report we do called the State of the Ohio River, and it really talks about the improvements in the river. So please feel free to take that. And then we just completed our annual report. We are charged every year with providing a report to our governors and the President of the United States, who appoints my bosses. I am blessed to have roughly 35 bosses on a good day, and we have 21 staff members. So it's a lot of my work, just making sure that we meet the needs of our governors and the number of commissioners that are appointed by the governors and the President of the United States. So we work on water quality, but we do so much more. We work with water utilities. There's about 31 utilities on the river serving roughly 5 million folks. Their water supply, and so we work to protect the river. If there's a spill, I believe Jerry Schulte is here somewhere, who probably goes with that. There he is. Jerry retired from Orsenco, and whether he'll lay credit or not to it, he helped train me about 8 years ago when I started. So it's been a blessing working here. Prior to that, I spent about 27 years as a drinking water utility executive that uses the Ohio River as its source. So I love the river. Interesting little story. I do a lot of stuff with my grandkids, as some of you all may. Many of you are all too young to have grandkids, but whenever I drive across the river, my 8-year-old grandson will say, "Is that your river, Pawpaw?" And I say, "Well, it's all of our river, Landon," but that's so cool. And that's how I look at it. That's how we look at it. So we do the monitoring for the river, even though we have regulatory authority. Our member states really have us focus on monitoring and the Ohio River itself. We're responsible for the interstate waters of the basin within the states that are members of Orsenco. So, of course, this is the biggest interstate water. And I know a lot of you folks are up with cities. I work with Mayor Myers and the City of Covington for many years when I was with North Kentucky Water. And Mayor Cleave's son works with us at Orsenco as one of our environmental scientists, biologists. So we really focus on that. We are really trying to tell a story of the river. It's an incredible resource. It pains me when I see it talked about as the most polluted body of water in the country. That's based on a toxic release inventory report that measures pounds of pollution. But it might surprise you to know that 97% of that pollution is nutrients. And for that chemical, the river's at about 30% of its load to meet its standards. So it's all working with words and really trying to understand. So Annette and Nick and our team, I know we're working with our way to really work on that message. It is an incredible body of water. I love to fish. I don't have fishing poles in my office, but I should. And I take my grandson on the river. He caught a 48-inch gar last summer, and I was part of bringing in a 50-pound blue catfish last summer. So I love the river. We are working on environmental justice. We're working with the US EPA right now on a project, really trying to figure out inclusion and education. Recreation is a big piece of that. Want to work with the Ohio River Way. We do a lot of special monitoring, sampling, PFAS. I have my business card out there, and I think that's about my time.
Thank you very much, buddy. Let's give it up for Orsenco. We're so grateful that you're our lead sponsors, and we very much value what you and your team do for all of us every day. Okay, now, just a couple quick ways of us getting to know who's here. Okay, who's here from Indiana? Hands up. Indiana. You guys are rocking it. How about Kentucky? Whoa. How about Ohio? Oh man, we've got pretty well equally divided along here, right? That's pretty cool. Who's here from any other state? Okay.
Illinois.
Illinois, we'll take it. Thank you, thank you. Okay, elected officials, would you all please stand up? Please stand up, and I want you all to introduce yourselves, just what your name is and the position you have. Mayor-elect.
Richard Farisi, West Point.
Mayor-elect, is that correct?
Correct.
Congratulations on the other day. Way to go. Now you can sit down. Okay, Sean.
I'm done. Mayor of Portsmouth.
Mayor of Portsmouth, give it up. All right, that's great. And Sean's on our steering committee doing a great job. Yes, go ahead. Thank you to Richmond rocking it.
Mayor, City of Iron.
Now, this is amazing. Mayor Cramblett from Ironton came all the way down here to join us in Lawrence County, and we're so grateful for your engagement in this project. And have a good time with your compatriot there, Sean. You can have a serious football challenges. Okay, Mayor.
Mark Durrett, City of Aurora.
We love you guys. We love you. Marvelous.
David Tillo, City of Madison, City Council.
Thank you so much for joining us. We love Madison.
Annette Baker, West Point City Council.
Annette Baker, West Point City Council. Good to see you again, Annette. Mayor.
Joe Meyer, Covington, Mayor.
We love it. Right across from Cincinnati, big city in this region on the Kentucky side. Yes.
Charlie, please, Mayor of Bellevue, Kentucky.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Cleese has been deeply involved in this work. I see him every doggone conference we have, or other people have too. Thank you.
Bonnie Batchford, Claremont County Commissioner.
So this is big. Claremont County is a huge county in Ohio on the river, and we're so grateful to have you and your team working closely with us. Thank you, Commissioner.
Chris Kane, County Conservation.
Okay, that's an elected position, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. It's wonderful to see an official.
Deborah Cotterill, Mayor of Mays.
So we love the mayor of Maysville, Maysville. I said that right. Okay. So Deborah came all the way from Maysville, and you'll be hearing her later on. So we thank you, elected officials, and maybe there will be some additional ones join us here today.
We just have Mary over there.
Oh, Mary. Mary Allen.
Hello, Mary Allen, Village of New Richmond Council.
So Mary rocks it. She's on our board and has been a key member of our planning team. And we're so grateful, Mary, for your leadership and hard work. So we'll have some more join us a little bit later, but it's cool to have us elected officials moving right along. Okay, who works for elected officials? Anybody here who works for elected officials? Great. From Lawrenceburg? From Ripley? Where are you guys representing? Of course. The backbone of the organization, huh? Okay. Who else is representing an elected official? Stand up. Quick. Explain who you're representing.
Declan Tom, I represent Cincinnati City Councilman Mark Jeffries.
Mark Jeffries is just rocking it. And by the way, we are on Zoom, I think. And hopefully we have people listening in and watching this, but I know that Mika Owens, a member of council in Cincinnati, was going to be here today, but she's on Zoom right now. So we very much appreciate her leadership.
Indiana U.S. Senator Tom Young.
Well, we're grateful that you're here. Thank you very much. And take the word back to them. Tell them to send all kinds of money our way. Okay.
Jennifer Haley, AV Commissioner, Bachelor of Claremont County.
All right, Jennifer, thank you very much. So if you need to get to the commissioner, you talk to her. Okay. Here are tourism people. Hands up. Thank you very much. You guys are critical. We're going to have a tourism caucus. Economic development, folks. Who does economic development for your communities? Excellent. Excellent. Who's Parks and Rec, Conservancies, and watershed organizations? All kinds of hands go up. Let's think wonderful, critical partnership for us. Who's representing the business community? Who has a business representing the community? Okay, excellent. Environmental organization. Wonderful. And federal state agency. All right. National Park Service. Thank you, Andrea. Who's a kayaker? Who likes to bird watch? Who likes to fish? Who likes to bike ride? Who likes to powerboat? All right, that's cool. We got a lot of people actually using stuff. Okay, who's participated in one or more of our Ohio Riverway webinars or events over the last 2 or 3 years? A lot of you. That's fantastic. It's good to actually see that you are. I thought some of you were 6'10". You probably thought I was that high, right? Okay, who met us during our trip from Portsmouth to Louisville? Along the way as we had ribbon cutting ceremonies. Thank you. We appreciate that. Who loved the Ohio River? All right, fantastic. Now, last thing is, who's excited about the Ohio Riverway? Stand up. Everybody stand up right here. This is where you got to have a little motion. All right, let's give it up. Big round of applause for everybody here. We have a group here. And we also have our friends with the Coast Guard. Where is Chief Jennifer? Oh, she just went out. Okay. We'll make sure that we introduce her again, but the Coast Guard is in the house. Moving right along.